indiscriminate killing of Jews, crusades of Muslims as well, right? And those are very illiberal ages. Now with the rise of liberalism in the 19th century onwards, the Christians have become very liberal. They have adopted this new liberal secular view of Christianity, which is a pacifist view of Christianity. You understand? Previously in the 19th century, Christians were not talking like this, that we are complete pacifists. We don't believe in violence. No, it wasn't like that. Christians did believe in violence, and they perpetuated violence throughout the planet, right? What about Muslims? Did Muslims do violence? Yes, of course. When they were attacked. In some cases when they were not attacked. Okay, Muslim empire has many bad examples we can give. But what was the norm? What was the Muslim policy towards Jews and Christians? It is from history we learn that 90% of world's Jews, 90% of the world's Jewish population lived under the protection of Islam for 1,000 years. The question is why? Why would Jews choose Muslims over Christians? Bernard Lewis answers the question. He goes, because Jews were treated far better in the Muslim lands than they were in the Christian lands. In the Christian lands, Jews were being accused of dicide. What is dicide? Dicide is killing of God, the murder of God. Because Jews were accused of killing Jesus Christ. Who is Jesus Christ? He's God. For that reason, throughout the Middle Ages, the Jewish people were persecuted. There were laws imposed against them. Their books were burnt. Their libraries were burnt. They were exiled, in some cases from countries. In the 13th century, King Edward I exiled the entire Jewish population. Soon after, King Philip of France exiled the entire Jewish population. The question is, where did they go? They went to the Muslim lands in Spain. And when the Catholics took Spain in 1490s, or when the process of Reconquista started, when the Catholics started to come from the north, taking land from the Muslims in Spain, the Jews kept moving downwards. They kept moving southwards with the Muslims. And then when the entire peninsula was occupied by King Ferdinand and Isabella in the late 15th century, those Jews who could migrate, they migrated to Morocco. And those who could not, in the next century, throughout the 16th century, there was a process of Christianization. The Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition kicked in, and this Inquisition forced the Muslims, who were known as Moriscos, and the Jews, they were forced to either die or accept Christianity. And that's why you do not find any Muslims from that period in Spain. The Muslims we have today in Spain, they are immigrants. They came into Spain in the 20th century. Before the 20th century, no sign of Muslims. Completely wiped out. Right? Did the Muslims do this to any race, any people, any religion? Even in the most hostile of places, Muslims did not adopt a genocidal policy. And in the complete history of Islam and Muslims, only one example keeps coming up. Which one? Guess which one? Of genocide. Armenian genocide. Armenian genocide in the early 20th century, close to the First World War. Right? Why that? What happened to the history of Islam from the year 1 to the year 1300? Nothing. Ask them to bring out a genocide. What is a genocide? A systematic wiping out of a people, either due to their race or religion. You will not find an example in the Muslim chronicles of that. If you do, you will see that the Muslims were the first victims. What examples come up? Timur the Lame, also known as Timur the Lame. In the 14th century, he wreaked havoc. He killed more Muslims than he killed anyone else. Who did he attack? Timur. He conquered Central Asia, Muslim. He conquered Syria, Muslim. He came to Delhi in India, Muslims governing Delhi. So even the genocides, the victims of the Muslims. So the point is, Muslims did not have this genocidal policy like some of these Christian missionaries like to claim, and when they are confronted with evidence, they have nothing to say. They know they expose their liars. These people are out here to lie to the audiences, and I feel sorry for the audiences, right? That's why we are here, so that the picture is clear and people can know the truth. So Islam never had this policy of absolutely humiliating Christians and Jews. There's no doubt there were restrictions on Jews and Christians, but they had the businesses, they had the churches, they had the bishops. We have testimonies throughout the world, throughout the history, where Jews and Christians are praising Muslims and Islam. One example very quickly, an Israeli, we can debate now if you want. No, wow, you need to prepare. You need to prepare so that you can bring up some lies. Are you ready now? 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 10 minutes on the watch. 10 minutes. I'll finish you in 10 minutes. I'll finish you in 10 minutes.
Okay, let's debate next week.
No.
You don't want to debate next week?
No, I don't want to debate you again. Because I believe you're disingenuous. I believe you're liars. Yeah. If you want to discuss now, you have the time in front of our cameras. It's Muslim audience. Come, you can confuse the Muslim. Why not now? Why not now?
You print out some lies. Stop running.
Yes, you need to print out some lies. Yeah.
Don't run.
Yeah.
Do some homework.
Yes, go and do some homework and see that your entire ancestors were also doing the same thing. So the point is, ladies and gentlemen, Muslims had this policy of tolerance and coexistence to an extent that some of the Spanish historians who are Spanish Arabists, they state that there was a period of convivencia throughout the Muslim period in Spain. Convivencia simply means coexistence, and where Jews, Muslims and Christians lived together side by side without any persecution. Jews flourished throughout the Middle East, and even in India, the Hindus, what happened to them? What happened to them? Did Muslims have a genocidal policy there? No. Hindus cannot be charged jizya according to most Islamic schools. What happened to the Hindus? During the time of Aurangzeb, the most Islamic king in India, the most Islamic king possibly in the history of India, Aurangzeb, for 50 years, he employed more Hindus into the state apparatus than all the Mughal kings put together. Some of his top generals were Hindus. Some of his top administrators, his treasurer was a Hindu. Where's the humiliation? And he was a very strong Muslim king. He was so Muslim that the largest collection of fatwa on the Hanafi school was compiled by his orders. Fatwa Alamgiri, also known as Fatwa Hindiya.
My father's business partners, they were Hindus.
Yes. So Sikhs, Hindus and Christians and Jews flourished throughout the Muslim lands.
And how long did we...
And this new rhetoric, this new Islam-hating, Islamophobic rhetoric that Muslims persecuted or dismantled the Jewish and Christian...
How long we ruled India for? How long?
Muslims ruled India close to eight centuries.
But that was long enough to do a genocide if we wanted.
Yes. There were wars.
8 centuries.
8 centuries. There were wars. There were periods of hostility, but never did the Muslim kings ever say, go and kill every single Hindu woman, man or child in the vicinity. No, you will not find an example of that. No. That happened with other people. That happened with other nations, including the British. When British were in Afghanistan, when they retaliated to a reaction of the Afghans to the British occupation, when British occupied in the mid-19th century, when they occupied Afghanistan against the wishes of the Afghani people, the Afghans fought back and expelled the British. There was indeed a disturbing massacre of the British army at the hands of the Afghans. When the British came back to avenge that massacre, they killed men, women and children indiscriminately, even animals. Even the trees were cut by the British to destroy the crops. Some trees were centuries old. And British systematically destroyed them. Muslims are not allowed to do that. Muslims are not allowed to do that by any standard or in any place or in any time. So that's it. That's my summary. Thank you so much for listening. My voice is gone. Jazakumullah khairan walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.